Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. Today I will be preparing garlic Parmesan chicken. And the idea came actually from my husband. I asked him, "What do you want for dinner tomorrow?" And he told me, "What about that garlic Parmesan chicken you made a few weeks ago?" That is something he does like. So why not share this recipe with you today? My preference, if it comes to the chicken meat, are chicken thighs. They are more juicy and they don't become as dry as chicken breast. Chicken breast can go with it as well, but you will have to stand by the pan to make sure you do not overcook it. Because once you overcook chicken breast, it does become a little bit dry. And what goes well with this recipe? Well, linguine, for example, because it will have this nice creamy sauce, but also mashed potatoes, roasted potatoes, or even rice if you like it. It is very easy to pair it with anything, or even roasted vegetables. Garlic Parmesan chicken today. Welcome to my kitchen, and thank you for watching. And the ingredients I need today, of course, chicken meat, onion, garlic, and on the end I like to squeeze just a little bit of lemon into that sauce. Soy sauce, white wine, olive oil, butter, heavy whipping cream, Parmesan cheese, vegetable broth or chicken broth, mustard, salt and pepper. And if it comes to the mustard, you can use dry mustard. Before I start cooking, I like to put a little bit of olive oil in my meat, a little bit of soy sauce, salt and pepper, and then mix it. Otherwise, if the meat doesn't have any spices, even though the sauce will have flavor, it won't be as flavorful, the meat itself. So just mix it a little bit and then leave it for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I can bring it to the pan. What I start is melted butter and onions. Okay, I want to saute on slow for a few minutes until I see them changing the texture, the color a little bit, becoming more transparent. And I like a little spice. We like spicy, medium spicy foods. So my husband and I would add a little bit of chili oil to those onions, just to give a little bit of kick to it. Of course, this is optional. Not everybody likes more spicy. Okay, and then in a couple minutes, I will add garlic to it. Maybe 3-4 minutes passed, and then time for the garlic to go in. Once you put garlic in, you need to be here and not walk away. Once you burn garlic, it becomes bitter. So you have to watch it. Don't let the garlic burn. And now again, couple minutes, and I will pour the vegetable broth or chicken broth to it. So far, I had about half an onion and 3 garlic cloves. Okay, and this can go on slow. Next, white wine, soy sauce, salt and pepper, mustard, and on the end, heavy whipping cream. Depending how thick you want the sauce to be, you can add a little bit of potato starch or just regular flour, and that will thicken up your sauce. Once the sauce is ready, shred a little bit Parmesan cheese on it, and sauce is ready. And a little bit of soy sauce to it. That gives saltiness, so it has to be for your own taste buds how salty you want it to be. Some people have high blood pressure, and salt is absolutely not good for it. So you would reduce it. I love salty things and my blood pressure is very low. So for me, I can enjoy salty things as much as I want. I would say one tablespoon of white wine and either dry mustard or your favorite type of mustard. Dijon will work well. In a little bit, I will start cooking the chicken and then combine it all together. So salt and pepper. Since I put soy sauce in there, the salt, very little. On the end, once I try it, I will decide if I need any more salt. But soy sauce already gives me salt, so I don't want to overdo it and have it too salty. As always, on the end, I will have all the ingredients posted, written down, so you can always go back and check. What would go well with it also, if you like a little bit kick to it, more spicy, a few flakes of red pepper. And a little bit of thyme also goes well with this sauce. So I would put a tiny bit of thyme in there. I would put 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream to it, and then shredded Parmesan cheese. For some of you, that should be enough to get the sauce thick. But again, if you like your sauce to be even more thick, then you can add a little bit flour to it, and that would make it thicken up. So again, on low, let the cheese melt. And I would taste if perfect. It doesn't need any more salt or pepper. It is nice, flavorful. I have garlic in there, so I can taste the garlic. If you really love garlic, you can put 1 extra clove to it. But it doesn't need anything else. That sauce is done. Okay, now time for the chicken. Once chicken is cooked, it will go into that sauce. You will cover it, let the flavors all mix up, and then dinner will be ready. Well, pasta, rice, potatoes, whatever you want with it. Okay, once you hear that sizzling, your oil is ready. When I start cooking the chicken, my oil is on higher heat. Once I have that sizzling going, I lower it to medium or medium low. Once you see becoming white, then it is time to flip it on the other side. So lots of times meat will stick to the pan. When you move it and it is loose, it moves, then it is ready to be flipped on the other side. And you can see one is thicker, so it will need a little bit more time. It's still very pink, but the other pieces become light colored, and those are ready to be flipped over. You do not want to overcook your meat. You want your meat to be moist and soft. Okay, and once your chicken is no longer pink, you can transfer it to that sauce. Okay, I had one piece that was thicker, so I'm gonna leave it for a few more seconds. The smell. Garlic Parmesan, I love it. Okay, and I like to squeeze that lemon on the end. Add a little bit of fresh parsley to it. And sprinkle it with a little bit of that Parmesan cheese on top. It is pretty simple to make, but it is delicious. And again, it goes well with anything. If you are a pasta lover, linguine goes so well with it. That creamy sauce, very yummy. And what I like to pair it with is French green beans, my favorite. Buon appetit, smacznego, and thank you for watching. Hi again. I have decided to put a little clip together for those of you who are wondering why I have this bump on my hand. And when I move my hand, it becomes bigger or smaller, it moves around. This is a ruptured muscle, and I know it's very visible. I have it because I was in a car accident about 5.5 years ago, and I do not remember the accident. I woke up in a hospital couple days later and slowly things were coming together. I am very thankful I do not remember it because I might be afraid of driving and I feel comfortable driving a car right now. My husband and I, we were just driving on the main street and someone was coming from a side street, not paying attention to the stop sign, driving pretty fast, straight into our car. The car was damaged, not drivable. I had broken ribs. Some of my backbones were cracked. That was the other thing, the ruptured muscle. And of course, bruises. The worst thing though was I was pregnant, 5 months pregnant with my daughter. And at the time in the hospital, my husband was told by the doctors that my chances of survival are about 10%. And for my daughter, probably zero. So that was the worst thing, the stress. The rest of the pregnancy, I had to sleep on that hospital bed in my own house, not laying down, but kind of sitting and worried, just worried about how the baby's doing, if the baby's going to be okay or not. Even today, with all the technology, nobody can tell you 100% if you're gonna have a healthy baby after something like this or not. But she is. She is just bunch of energy, crazy little girl. She cannot sit still. She keeps me on my toes. So again, if you wonder why I'm so skinny and I do eat everything I bake, because I run after her. I run after her morning till night. So she gives me all the exercise I need. I don't need any gym. I have gym at home. If I wanted to fix that muscle, I could. The doctor can sew the muscle together and it will take about 6 to 8 weeks me being in a cast. So I'll be exchanging my bump for a scar. And for me, this is not worth it. It doesn't hurt me, doesn't bother me. There are more important things in life than, little something like this. And I decided it's okay. I can live with that. But again, I know it's visible and some of you might wonder like, what is this? So this is the explanation. That's why I have this bump. And it's gonna stay with me until the day I die. I'm happy I'm alive right now because, like I said, 10% chances of survival, and for my baby, zero. I'm thankful I'm alive. I'm pretty healthy. I love the baking, I love the cooking, and I have 2 healthy children. So there's lots to be thankful for. Just wanted to let you know why, and wish you a great day, great weekend, and happy baking. Thank you.